Spam next shield, spam next shield. Or, alright, it wasn't. Nice team.
Easy, dude. Hey, what's up guys, this is Liam or Weagle on your Overwatch, back with a new video, and today we're going to be talking about some of the current downsides to 222 and hopefully offer up some solutions for when it goes live in just over a week. Now, of course, we've spoke about most of the positives already, and the game is definitely better off in the 222 system, but me and FREEDO don't necessarily agree on everything, especially when it comes to some of the issues, so I wanted to get my thoughts out there and hopefully offer up some solutions on what Blizzard can do. Now, of course, role queue is still in beta, but some of the issues from the PTR didn't get fixed over to the beta, and I'm assuming that when we get it live, there's probably going to be a couple of these teething issues as well, and that's why I wanted to make this video, given the track record of some of the issues from PTR to live, that we're probably not going to see everything perfect when it comes out. So I want to hear about your thoughts on some of this stuff, but the first specific thing I'd like to know is, how did your placements go, and what kind of teammates did you get when you got placed, and how far apart were your main roles from your normal roles? What's weird at the minute is that we've got less placements now at a time where placements are more important than they've ever been. Now, my worst experience so far is that I peaked into top 500 when it was just under the 4K mark. Well, when I actually searched for a game, it put someone on my team that was only 2,500 on their main role, which was support, and they were on tank at nearly a 4K game. Now, we tried and we tried and we tried. We didn't end up losing, but we put up a pretty good fight with this player, but it was a really unfortunate thing for everyone on the team that had happened. And I'm seeing more and more reports of people that are placing on their off roles and actually getting put at the wrong rank, whether it be too high or too low. The thing that placement matches are supposed to do is get people nearly to the right rank in order for them to then gain or lose a little bit based on if that estimate isn't accurate. And now that we've cut every role down to 5, that's not a lot of information that the Blizzard system has to go off in terms of placing you in the right place. Now, I know that not everyone is going to want to play 30 placement matches, and I have kind of a fix for that later in the video, but it is something that would be better for the system. It would put people in a more reliable place and make games across the board much more even when you get into ranked. The biggest issue with placements at the minute is mostly coming down to off-rolling, because what Blizzard have been doing for quite some time now is they're taking your stats and your wins and all of that good stuff from recent months and then basing your initial SR placement on that when you start doing your placement matches. So if you've only been playing tank for the last 10 seasons, well, when you go to place now on a different role, people are seeing some extreme results. Now, a lot of the reported accounts are that people are higher than they should be, but this can happen on both sides of the spectrum regarding boosts. So if they can't play their main at, let's say, gold, well, putting them in an off role at diamond is going to be a big problem for everyone involved in that match, and that's currently what we're dealing with. There's also another strange phenomena going on with off-rolling, and this is something that FREEDO and other YouTubers on this channel have spoken about before, and that's kind of hiding at the rank that you're at. Because of the way that the system currently works, some people that are managing to get a bit higher than they should be are actually able to maintain that rank easier, because it's a lot easier to not throw at a rank than it is to carry. And this is how people get stuck in certain ranks for a long time, because you don't necessarily have to learn everything to be there. Think about if you've ever had a game where you absolutely popped off and you just won at the end of it, and you knew that throughout the whole thing your tank didn't really know when to hold his shield up and your healers didn't know where to stay. Well, in a situation like that, if the tank just doesn't throw by holding his shield up too much but not dying and giving the enemy to shoot at, that's an easy way for that tank to stay at that rank, and it happens on all of the roles mostly. It's actually harder to hide on tank, I would say, but it is something that still definitely happens. With this being the case, and off rolls being quite boosted at the minute, I do strongly think that placements need to impact your off rolls a lot more than they currently do. I'd even rather they treat them a little bit like a new account, give it a complete fresh start, because it doesn't even seem to be doing that. It seems to take your current role, your best role that you normally play, and give you it somewhere around there. And if you've never played it, obviously, as explained, that's a bad thing. But what if they put you a couple of ranks below your main? Is that not where you would expect to be? Because if you was a couple of ranks below your main and you deserve to be higher, well, the Overwatch rank system has always done a much better job of boosting people that shouldn't be in a rank out of it very quickly than it is at getting people of a higher skill set, even if they don't always play great, downwards. They don't want to see people at low ranks getting stomped. You will still see some smurfs, but a lot of them are hanging around Masters, which is why Masters is a horrific rank to play in. Just trust me on that one. But if we put people 2 ranks below their current rank, or 1, it's up to you. You can decide in your mind. This is just my opinion. But if we put them there, what it's going to do is, if they're not good enough to hang there, they'll go down. And if maybe we've sent them down a little bit too low, well, what's going to happen is them skills that they do possess, even if it's mostly game sense on an off roll, will get them to a higher rank. So we don't just see people kind of sitting about at a rank where when it really calls on them to know something or make a play, they simply can't do it. And that's why we're having issues at most of the ranks where people are like, hang on, there's a DPS player on tank, he doesn't know what he's doing. Well, if they was at the rank below or 2, I think we'd have a much better situation. And that all, as well, of course, goes on the fact if placements get fixed. And having a much bigger source to pull from of 10 placements per role would be much more reliable for the system. And you're going to say to me, well, no one wants to play that many placements. And I agree with you, because I do not either. And this brings me on to some of my solutions to this kind of boosted and off-roll issue. My first question is, and this is serious now, do we even need seasons? And if you think we do, what do you think the difference between the current seasons are? Because at the minute, other than getting points for your gold guns, when you place again next season, you pretty much always place in the same place if you've played on that account before. And even though they have different numbers on them, the ranks are pretty much always the same. Now, a lot of other games do this. CSGO does this as well, which is a game that I really like, where you don't really have seasons. You just get to a higher rank and then your games are always good at that rank and you try and get as high as you can. If you get to the highest rank though in CSGO, you do have third-party systems to go and play on for a more challenging experience. But if you was to get into high Grand Masters in Overwatch, you'd probably consider going and scrimming anyway, right? So if we didn't have seasons, it would be a lot less stressful that we had to do 10 placements or even more than that to get an accurate roll for the new 222 system. I think that this could work. It just depends if that's what everyone wants, and it depends if Blizzard wants to do it. Especially with the fact that we don't have decay anymore. Of course, alongside, you get the same rank every season anyway. What does it matter? That's just where I'm coming from with this. Now, we have more placements. Maybe we don't need seasons. And the last thing I want to talk about is that I do think one of the best fixes for this system, regardless of how they implement it, is that time will heal all wounds. I think that time is going to make the system better. It just depends what jumping off point we go from in about 10 days time. If we are going to see people be placed a little inaccurately, do we really want everyone higher than they should be and the games are horrible, or should we get people a bit lower where people will then be trying to get to a higher rank? Each will still come with its issues, don't get me wrong, but that starting off point needs to be as accurate as it possibly can be so that the time after the fact isn't as long to get everyone in kind of the place that they should be. Ranked's always going to be a little bit weird in Overwatch. We've talked about ranked for years now, and most of the issues on the videos that we've ever made have been fixed. Now, I just think we have to get everyone in the right place, and that can also be a challenge because solo queue is the main way people want to interface with the game. In ranked, you will see occasionally people that really don't know how to play there or have game sense. Other games do fix this by allowing teams to play in normal queues, although we don't seem to be getting that for Overwatch. But I would definitely say that the game sense overall has increased a lot in Overwatch, and with 222 coming out, the last thing that I think we can do as a community is try to learn the game more and figure out what kind of game sense and mechanical skill we should have at a certain rank in order to get there, because there's a lot of grey area at the minute. But I do like to see that that knowledge base has increased. It's gone up so much since when I took a break from the game and when I came back. I'm hearing great calls in ranks where people never used to speak, so hopefully that just keeps spreading out. And I think if we can all focus on learning and playing the game in 222, now that the comps are much easier to work out because we have that foundation there, I think we can figure out the game and improve ranked on our own and not just rely on Blizzard to be able to do it. So guys, let me know what you think in the comment section to any of this stuff down below. It's a very complicated subject and one that I'm hoping we can find some fixes for. Be sure to drop a like, as it does help us out and lets us know you're enjoying the content, and you want to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when our videos go live. Be sure to have a great day as always. Take care and peace, people.